I used to fear the dark, but now the light is what hurts, because it shows me exactly what's missing. Tonight I didn't just lose a person, I lost a version of myself. The clock on the wall is ticking like a heartbeat on life support. I'm looking at your pictures, a battle I didn't wanna fight, but I fought. It's 3 a.m. and the city is a graveyard of dreams. Nothing is ever as perfect as it usually seems. I lost your touch, yeah, that's the physical stain, but I lost my faith in every beautiful thing. The way you looked at me, that was my only mirror. Now the glass is shattered and nothing's getting clearer. 'Cause on the night I lost you, I lost the me I like. The fire went out and the cold finally struck a strike. I'm mourning a lover and I'm mourning a friend, watching 2 different lives come to a sudden end. The bed is too wide and the shadows are too deep. I'm haunted by the promises we swore we'd always keep. Yeah, the tragedy isn't just that you're out of my sight, it's that I died a little too on that very same night.
Check the call logs, it's a list of no replies. I'm sick of the truth, so I'm hungry for the lies. Yeah, tell me you're coming back, even if it's a front. I'm hunting for a ghost, a never-ending hunt. You were my anchor, but you turned into the chain, dragging me down into the center of the rain. How do I stand when my foundation is gone? How do I breathe when I'm terrified of the dawn? I lost the girl who knew my secrets by heart, and I lost the man who didn't fall completely apart.
One funeral for the love we made, one funeral for the plans we laid. I'm standing at 2 graves with 1 bouquet of thorns, while the rest of the world just wakes up and mourns. I'm half a person in a whole lot of pain. 'Cause on the night I lost you, I lost the me I like. The fire out went out and the cold finally struck a strike. I'm mourning a lover and I'm mourning a friend, watching 2 different lives come to a sudden end. The bed is too wide and the shadows are too deep. I'm haunted by the promises we swore we'd always keep. The night I lost you, I went looking for myself in the wreckage, but I couldn't find him either. Just 2 ghosts and a lot of empty space. It's a reflex, I guess, like breathing or blinking. My mind knows you're gone, but my arm hasn't received the memo yet. Driving down the highway, 2 a.m. neon lights, thinking about the ghost of a summer night. I make a sharp turn, feel the car sway, and my right hand drifts to the empty grave of the passenger seat where you used to sit, adjusting the vent, complaining about the heat for a bit. But there's nothing but leather, cold and dry. I'm grasping at oxygen, reaching for a lie. I pull back quick like I touched a flame, but the burn is internal and I'm the one to blame. I'm a phantom limb victim, feeling a part of me that was amputated by all we need to be free. I still reach for your hand in the middle of the night, looking for the warmth, is a canyon deep and wide, and there's nowhere left for a broken heart to hide. Yeah, my fingers find the shadows clutching at the air. I still reach for your hand, but you're never there. Walking through the market, seeing something you like, that vintage denim jacket or that old school bike. I start to turn, words forming on my lips, ready to feel the graze of your fingertips. I extend my palm, waiting for the lock, but I'm met with the stares of the sidewalk flock. Just a lonely man holding hands with a memory failing, the chemistry trapped in this misery. Every movie theater, every park bench seat is a trap set for me, a bitter cold retreat. I forget for a second that the tether is cut, then reality hits like a door slammed shut. It's the muscle memory, it's the soul's anatomy, it's the way my body refuses the tragedy. I don't wanna learn how to walk alone, I don't wanna find a rhythm on my own. I'm addicted to the touch that I can't reclaim, calling out to a shadow that forgot my name. I still reach for your hand in the middle of the night, looking for the warmth, looking for the light, but the space beside me is a canyon deep and wide, and there's nowhere left for a broken heart to hide. Yeah, my fingers find the shadows clutching at the air. I still reach for your hand, but you're never there. I woke up this morning, the sheets were cold. I reached out, and for a split second I thought I felt you, but it was just me, clutching my own fingers, trying to hold on. I'm still reaching. I helped him pick the flowers for your birthday last week, not knowing they were seeds of a silence we'd speak. I was the one who told him how to make you finally smile. Now he's walking the distance I traveled for a mile. The blueprints we drew, the house on the hill. He's moving the furniture while I'm standing still. I paved the road that you're driving on now. I taught him the worst and he took the vow. And I'm uninvited to the future we planned, a spectator watching him hold on to your hand. The calendar's full of the dates we once made, but my name's been erased, left to rot in the shade. I'm the history book that you both pushed aside to make room for the secrets you no longer hide. Do you talk about me when the lights are down low, or am I a shadow you've decided to let go? It's a different kind of lonely, a specific kind of hell, when your brother is the one ringing your wedding bell. I shared my map so he'd find his way home, but I didn't know he'd leave me to wander alone. There's a seat at the table that's empty and cold. There's a version of us that will never grow old. You didn't just leave me, you took my best friend and built a beginning out of my bitter end. Yeah, I'm uninvited to the future we planned, a spectator watching him hold on to your hand. The calendar's full of the dates we once made, but my name's been erased, left to rot in the shade. I'm the history book that you both pushed aside to make room for the secrets you no longer hide. Close the door softly, don't mind the ghost, the one who loves you both the most. I'm just a memory you outgrew, an uninvited guest in a life built for two. I thought the third time was a heartbeat, the one to wake the soul, the piece of jagged glass that finally made the picture whole. The first was a stutter, the second was a scream, but you were supposed to be the steady center of the dream. I tuned my life to match your stride, I lowered every guard, but playing house with ghosts has left me breathless and scarred. I'm checking for a pulse where there used to be a fire, just a tired bird tangled in a rusted copper wire. I gave the best of what was left, the scraps of all my faith, but I'm just chasing after you like a shadow hunts a wraith. Now it's just a hollow rhythm beating in my chest, a house of cards and echoes where I thought that I could rest. One was a tremor, two was a break, but three is a silence that I don't know how to take. The drum is dry and dusty, the melody is gone. I'm just a hollow rhythm trying to find the dawn. The table's set for two, but the water's tasting thin. I'm looking for the exit while you're settling back in. We're dancing in the kitchen to a song we don't believe, with a suitcase by the door and a goodbye up my sleeve. Is this the way it ends for me? A cycle of the same, just a different face to blame inside a broken picture frame. My heart is like an empty hall, it echoes every sound of the third love that I buried in this cold and stony ground. I'm tired of the almost, I'm tired of the tried. I'm just the empty shell of someone living deep inside. Yeah, it's just a hollow rhythm beating in my chest, a house of cards and echoes where I thought that I could rest. One was a tremor, two was a break, but three is a silence that I don't know how to take. The drum is dry and dusty, the melody is gone. I'm just a hollow rhythm trying to find the dawn. Thump, thump, nothing. The beat is getting slow. Third time wasn't the charm, it was just the final blow. I clear the vase on the windowsill. The water's stagnant and the air is chill. The first time I bled, I thought it was fate. The second time around, I just chalked it up to hate. But you were the one who was meant to stay, the third bloom that wouldn't just wither away. I planted my hopes in the garden of us. Now it's just thorns and a handful of dust. There'll be no more roses for this heart of mine. I'm done trying to turn the water to wine. 3 times I reached and 3 times I fell, trying to find heaven in a lover's the third door would finally set me free. I ignored the scars from the ghosts of the past, convinced myself this was the one that would last. But you walked away while the garden was bright, left me to face the frost of the night. Now the dirt's under my nails and the roots are all dead, and I'm choking on words that should have been said. One for the listen, two for the sting, but the third one took every beautiful thing. I'm closing the shop, I'm locking the gate, I'm leaving my heart to a much simpler fate. When nothing can grow, nothing can break, and I don't have to bleed for another mistake. There'll be no more roses for this heart of mine. I'm done trying to turn the water to wine. 3 times I reached and 3 times I fell, trying to find heaven in a lover's spell. The petals are scattered, the colors are gray. I'm throwing the rest of the bouquet away. No more I love yous, no more sweet lies, just the scent of the winter in these empty skies. Keep the flowers, I'll keep the thorns. The third time's the end of the life I've worn. No more roses, no more roses, just the quiet garden of a soul that's torn. I thought I'd finally figure out the rhythm of the rain. After 2 long winters, I thought I'd memorize the pain. But you were the third act, the one I didn't plan to lose, the final piece of color in a world of static blues. Now the closet is half empty and the silence is so loud. I'm just a broken silver lining looking for a cloud. I'm back at the beginning, but I'm older than before, tracing patterns on the ceiling, pacing circles on the floor. 3 times I gave my heart away, 3 times it came back cold. A story told in fragments that's already getting old. No more us and no more we, just a ghost I can't disown. I'm just a student in the dark, learning to be alone. There's a dinner plate for one, and a movie I won't start, because the happy endings feel like needles in my heart. I'm tired of the sorries and the someone else is out there talk. I'm tired of the shadows following me on every walk. If love is just a lesson, then I've learned enough to quit. I'm staring at the candle, but I've got no fire to light it. 1 taught me to bleed, 2 taught me to cry, but you taught me that even the perfect ones can lie. I've run out of excuses for why I'm still this way, just a man standing still while the world turns into gray. Back at the beginning, but I'm older than before, tracing patterns on the ceiling, pacing circles on the floor. just a student in the dark, learning to be alone. Class is back in session, the lights are getting dim. It's just me and the echo in the space where you should have been, learning to be alone. I'm finally learning, I'm finally learning. I'm staring at the space you used to fill. The coffee's cold, the house is way too still. I trace the lines of every forever you said. Now I'm just haunted by the ghosts in our bed. You packed your bags and took the light from the hall. I never thought you'd enjoy watching me fall. So tell me, was the freedom worth the cost of every single memory that we lost? You traded my heart for a brand new start and tore our whole universe apart. I'm picking up pieces while you're crossing the line. I hope it was worth leaving me behind. Yeah, I hope it was worth the loss. I saw your shadow on a stranger's street. Do you still look for me in everyone you meet? Or did you burn the bridge and forget the flame? Does your heart even ache when you hear my name? It's a long cold road when you're walking alone. I hope you found the heaven you were promised to be shown. Maybe the silence is what you needed to hear. Maybe my love was your only fear. But I'm standing here in the wreckage you made, counting the price for the games that you played. Tell me, was the freedom worth the cost of every single memory that we lost? You traded my heart for a brand new start and tore our whole universe apart. I'm picking up pieces while you're crossing the line. I hope it was worth leaving me behind. Yeah, I hope it was worth the loss. I hope it's everything you thought it would be, the life that you chose when you didn't choose me. Hope it was worth it, because it cost me everything. I remember the first, a sweet naive mistake, a fairy tale ending that I couldn't quite make. Then came the second, a storm of lessons and fire, burning me down with a desperate desire. But you were supposed to be the safe, quiet shore, the one where I didn't have to fight anymore. I stopped checking the exits, I let down the guard, I lost a memory of packing a bag, watching the white flag start to flutter inside. They say the third time's a charm, or so I was told. But the goal that you promised has turned into cold. I'm tired of being the one who survives, living out fragments of three different lives. Is it the way that I love or the way that I break? How many shatterings can one spirit take? 3 times a loser, 3 times a shame. I'm starting to hate the sound of my name. How did we get here to this hollow goodbye? Under the weight of a third broken sky, I've run out of pieces to give into man. I didn't know always had a third kind of end. The silence is screaming what I already know. How did we get here with nowhere to go? No more second chances, no more one last try. I've used up the tears and I've run the well dry. Just 3 faded photos on a dusty shelf. I guess I'm just better off by myself. How did we get here? I don't even know. I'm pulling at the loose thread on the sleeve of your old shirt, the one that smells like wood smoke and a lingerie of dirt. We were woven so tight, not a sliver of light could get through. Now I'm just a tangle of fibers trying to find you. The binding of the book is cracked and losing its glue, and I'm terrified of what happens when the ending is true. And we're just the frayed ends of the story, the unraveling parts of our former glory. The hem is coming undone, the seams are starting to tear. I'm reaching for a connection that's no longer there. Just a couple of strings hanging loose in the wind, wondering where the beautiful part actually sinned. I try to tie a knot, try to keep us in place, but you can't mend a fabric that's mostly just empty space. The gold leaf letters on the cover are starting to fade, revealing the structural errors in every choice we made. I'm reading the last chapter over and over again, searching for a plot twist to save us from the then. One sharp tug and the whole thing disappears. A decade of darning washed away by the tears. If I let go of the thread, do I simply dissolve into a mystery that no one is meant to solve? Thought the third time was a charm, the holy grail, a quiet pour where every ship finally sets its sail. I burned the maps of the first two, the ghosts of before, and lay my tired armor down right outside your door. But the floorboards are cold and the coffee is black, and there's no way to find the road that leads us back. Now I'm just a shadow on the wall you used to paint, a prayer that's grown silent, a sinner, not a saint. They say the heart is a muscle, but mine's just a bone, snapping under the weight of being this alone. It was supposed to be forever, not another delay. Now I'm just a memory fading, fading into yesterday. Your toothbrush is gone, but the ghost of it stays in the silence that echoes through these empty hallways. I follow the rules, I gave every spark I had left. Now I'm standing here hollow, a victim of theft. 3 strikes and I'm out, or so the game goes. But nobody tells you how much the ending slows. 1 was a lesson, 2 was a scar, but you were the one who went way too far. You weren't a season, you were the whole year. Now I'm drowning in an ocean of my own salt and fear, and I'm just a shadow on the wall you used to paint, a prayer that's grown silent, a sinner, not a saint. They say the heart is a muscle, but mine's just a bone, snapping under the weight of being this alone. It was supposed to be forever, not another delay. Now I'm just a memory fading, fading into yesterday. Yesterday, where we were still real, before the numbness replaced the feel. Turn out the lights, there's nothing left to say. Just let me go, fading into yesterday. I checked the call log, saw a name I used to trust. Now the gold we spent years building is turning into rust. You were my steady anchor, he was a brother of my soul, but you played a game of whispers and I lost all control. I'm standing in the kitchen, hearing laughter through the wall, the sound of my 2 favorites watching my whole kingdom fall. How do I mourn the lover who walked out the door when the friend who should be grieving with me isn't here anymore? It's a double-edged goodbye, a blade that cuts both ways. I lost my future in your eyes and the ghost of better days. One hand held my heart, the other held my hand. Now I'm sinking in the middle of a shifting desert sand. You took the love I gave you, you took the loyalty we had. It's a double-edged goodbye and it's driving me half mad. Do you tell him all the secrets that I whispered in your ear? Does he tell you that he's sorry while he keeps you standing near? I'm searching for a sanctuary, a place to hide the pain, but the person I would run to is the one who brought the rain. I lost my moon and stars at once. The sky is hauntingly black, and there's a serrated signature carved deep into my back. If it was just a stranger, I could find a way to heal, but this is a different kind of theft, a different kind of steal. You traded my devotion for a moment in his arms, and he traded 10 years of forever for your temporary charms. It's a double-edged goodbye, a blade that cuts both ways. I lost my future in your eyes and the ghost of better days. One hand held my heart, the other held my hand. Now I'm sinking in the middle of a shifting desert sand. You took the love I gave you, you took the loyalty we had. It's a double-edged goodbye, and it's driving me half mad. Two empty chairs at the table, two shadows walking away. I lost my world in a single night, and there's nothing left to say. Just a double-edged goodbye. I handed you the keys to every secret I owned, built a sanctuary for us, a place I called home. You were the shadow that walked right by my side, the one I trusted when I had nowhere to hide. But shadows grow long when the sun starts to set. And you found a warmth that I'll never forget. It's a betrayal in 3 parts, a play without light. One heart is breaking, 2 are holding on tight. The person I loved and the friend I believed. Now I'm a stranger in the web that you weaved. How do I scream when my breath's been stolen away by the 2 people I thought were here to stay? I see the way you look at him, the flicker in your eyes, the same look you gave me before, the whispers and lies. And he's wearing the smile that used to be mine, while you're crossing the bridge and burning the line. It's not just the ending that's tearing me through. It's losing our world and losing him too. 3 was a crowd, but I thought we were a team. Now I'm the ghost in the middle of your dream. Did you laugh about me when the lights went down low? Did you wait for the moment to let me go? The knife in my back has both of your names, and I'm standing alone in the ash of the flames. It's a betrayal in 3 parts, the play without life. One heart not invited, a fire you started, a love you ignited. Rest in peace to the three of us. I lost my love and I lost my trust. Just a betrayal in 3 parts. I still remember the reservation, the one we made for 3, back when forever was a word that belonged to him and me. I brought you along to every dinner, I shared my favorite seat, never knowing I was paving the way for my own defeat. Now I'm walking past the window of that place we used to go, and I see a candle flickering on a scene I shouldn't know. There's a table for 2 somewhere across town, where the walls aren't shaking and the world isn't falling down. But I'm not the one sitting there laughing at his jokes. I'm just the oxygen you both used to feed the smoke. You took my place, you took my grace, you took the light I held at a table for 2 in a story where I've been expelled. Is the conversation easier now that I'm not in the room? Does the wine taste sweeter in the shadow of my doom? I taught you how he likes to stay, how he takes his morning tea. I handed you the map to him and you used it to leave me. Now you're sharing appetites and secrets in the dark. Use of the wood of our friendship to keep his little spark. I'm the empty chair at every holiday we planned, the ghost of a girl with a ring that never touched her hand. I hope the steak is tender, I hope the music's soft and low, since you traded 10 years of us for a person you barely know. There's a table for 2 somewhere across town, where the walls aren't shaking and the world isn't falling down. But I'm not the one sitting there laughing at his jokes. I'm just the oxygen you both used to feed the smoke. You took my place, you took my grace, you took the light I held at a table for 2 in a story where I've been expelled. Check please, I've had enough of this bitter taste of a life stolen and a friendship gone to waste. Enjoy the meal, I hope it was worth the price. A table for 2 and I'm paying for it twice. I left your letter on the dashboard, windows cracked just an inch. Feeling the distance of 1,000 miles in every little fringe. The clouds are bruising purple, a heavy velvet weight, while I'm sitting in the driveway arguing with fate. And the sky finally opens, a cold and steady pour, and I watch the ink start dancing toward the bottom of the door. Now it's just ink bleeding in the rain, blue rivers running down to wash away the pain. Every I love you pieces, but they're slipping through my hands. Lost inside a storm that neither one of us understands. The always and the forever are swirling on the floor. I can't tell what was a promise and what was just a war. The paper's turning, trains loosened, fragile as a bone, a map of a relationship that left me here alone. I try to catch the droplets, try to save a single line, but the water doesn't care about what used to be mine. If the pen is mightier than the sword, then why does it hurt like this to watch the ghost of your handwriting dissolve into a mist? A page full of memories turn to a watercolor stain. Nothing but a hollow-hearted ink bleeding in the rain. Soaking through the floorboards, it's running down the street. A story with no ending, it's a rhythm and a beat, just a smear of blue. Where I once had you. Soaking through the floorboards, it's running down the street. A story with no ending, just a rhythm and a beat, just a smear of blue. Just a smear of blue, where I once had you. I left your letter, I left your letter on the dashboard, where I once had you. I left your letter, I left your letter. I left your, I left your, I left your, I left your letter. 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 I left your, I left your, I left your, I left your letter. I left your letter. I left your letter on the dashboard. Windows crack, just an your letter. I left your letter. I left your letter. I left your letter on the. I left your letter. I left your letter on. Left your letter. Down those cracks. I left your letter on the dashboard. I left your letter. I left your letter on the desk. Windows cracked. Windows cracked. Windows cracked. Your lips and your door. I poured the wine and I set the plate while you were planning our expiration date. I was talking about forever and us while you were turning our gold into rust. You sat across from me, steady and calm, hiding the detonator in your palm. I was looking for a future in your eyes while you were busy polishing the lies. The enemy wasn't at the gates or hiding in the hands of fate. I didn't have to look very far to find the one who leaves the scar. It wasn't a stranger, it wasn't in the dark. It was the one who held my every spark. Now I'm shivering, consumed by the gloom of the traitor in the room. You knew my ghost and you knew my scars. We counted wishes under the stars, but while I was dreaming of building a home, you were already packed and ready to roam. It's the way you can kiss me and still feel cold, the way that a story can't be untold. I was a soldier standing guard for you while you were the one who was cutting through. They say keep your friends close, your enemies closer, but what do you do when the war is over? The one who was supposed to shield the blade is the very same one by whom you're betrayed. It's a quiet strike, it's a civil war, and I don't even know what I'm fighting for. The enemy wasn't at the gates or hiding in the hands of fate. I didn't have to look very far to find the one who leaves the scar. It wasn't a stranger, it wasn't the dark. It was the one who held my every spark. Now I'm shivering, consumed by the gloom of the traitor in the room. I'm looking at the chair where you still sit, and the candle is out, though I try to light it. Just a shadow where a heart should be. The traitor in the room was the one who claimed to love me. The candlelight is flickering low between us. You're leaning in a whisper something sweet, but I can taste the distance in your breathing, and the way you won't quite let our glances meet. You say you stay late working at the office, and you say you never loved me more than now. A double-edged apology you're offering, while I'm just trying to keep from breaking down. It's two lies for the price of one tonight. I'm sorry and I'll stay to make it right. Wanna keep the peace, wanna hide the shame. Both of them just fuel to feed the flame. I'm paying with my heart for every word you spun. Buying two lies for the price of one. I saw the message flashing on your phone screen, the name I wasn't supposed to ever know. You tell me it's a ghost from some old lifetime, and that I'm the only place you want to go. So I nod my head and play the part of believer, while you build a bridge to lead you far away. It's a cheap charade, a bargain bin deception, and I'm the only one who has to pay. You could have told the truth and let it shatter. At least the jagged glass would be real. But you wrap the pain in silk and call it us, not caring how the hollow silence feels. It's two lies for the price of one tonight. I'm sorry and I'll stay to make it right. Wanna keep the peace, wanna hide the shame. Both of them just fuel to feed the flame. I'm paying with my heart for every word you spun. Buying two lies for the price of one. Keep the change, I'm done with the sale. The truth is in the wind and your love is frail. I love you and goodbye, the final two lines. I saw you parked outside that diner we used to love, the one with the neon sign and the stars above. But there was someone else sitting in my seat, and the way you looked at her felt like a slow defeat. You were wearing that sweater I bought for your birthday. You're laughing at things I didn't even hear you say. It's funny how the world just keeps spinning around, while I'm buried 6 feet under without making a sound. So I'm writing this down, though it's hard to see through the tears. To the man I loved for 1,000 years, and to the girl who's holding the hand I used to hold. There's a part of this story that hasn't been told. Yeah, you both ought to know that you're building your grace on the ruins of a heart you can never replace. I hope you're happy, I hope you're whole, but you both ought to know you took a piece of my soul. Do you tell her the secrets you whispered in my ear? Does she know all the things that you used to fear? And to you, the girl with the brand new smile, I hope he treats you better, at least for a while. But watch out for the way his voice starts to change when the love feels familiar and the spark feels strange. Because I was the queen of the kingdom he burned, and I'm the only lesson that he never learned. I'm not here to scream or to ruin the night. I'm just a shadow stepping out of the light. But secrets have a way of catching up fast, and you're dancing on the ashes of a beautiful past. But you both ought to know you took a piece of my soul. Yeah. Now the engine is starting and you're driving away, leaving me here with nothing left to say. But the truth is a ghost that'll never let go. Yeah, you both ought to know. Yeah, you both ought to know. I kept the keys in the jar by the door, a habit I couldn't break. Counting the third time's a charm, promises that I used to make. The first was a wildfire, the second a slow burning spark. But you were the lighthouse I thought would guide me through the dark. Now the kitchen is freezing and the floorboards don't groan. It's funny how a house feels bigger when you're suddenly alone. It's not the screaming or the slamming doors that breaks the night. It's the quiet click of a suitcase locked when you lose the fight. It's the rustle of a jacket and the turning of the key, the rhythm of the distance growing between you and me. I've memorized the silence and I've memorized the gray, but the loudest thing I've ever heard is the sound of walking away. 3 times I've stood at this window, watching tail lights bleed to red, replaying every I love you and every word we never said. I'm a collector of endings, a master of the goodbye, but this one feels like a mountain when I've lost the will to climb. I'm not reaching for the phone and I'm not calling out your name. I'm just listening to the echo of a heart that's finally tamed. One left a scar and the second left a stain, but the third one took the part of me that didn't mind the rain. Now the driveway is empty and the air is getting thin. I'm locking up the places where I used to let you in. It's not the screaming or the slamming doors that breaks the night. It's the quiet click of a suitcase locked when you lose the fight. It's the rustle of a jacket and the turning of the key, the rhythm of the distance growing between you and me. I've memorized the silence and I've memorized the gray, but the loudest thing I've ever heard is the sound I saw the way you looked at him tonight. A different kind of glow, a different light. The same one that you used to say for me before the silence grew between us endlessly. He was the one who held my hand through every storm. Now he's the one who's keeping your heart warm. And I'm standing in the shadow of your new love, watching the two people I trusted most rise above. How am I supposed to breathe? How do I move on when my soulmate and my brother are both gone? It's a double kind of heartbreak, a jagged, quiet blade to lose my world to the one who saw how we were made. We had a language only three of us could speak. Now the jokes feel hollow and my heart feels weak. I shared my secrets, told him how you love the rain. Now he's the one who's dancing in it while I'm in pain. He knew the match to every dream I tried to build. Now he's the one whose pockets are all filled. Did it happen in the moments I wasn't there? A lingering look, a sudden change in the air. I don't know who to hate or who to miss the most. In this house of memories, I'm just a ghost. Yeah, I'm standing in the shadow of your new love, watching the two people I trusted most rise above. Oh, how am I supposed to breathe? How do I move on? And my soulmate and my brother are both gone. It's a double kind of heartbreak, a jagged, quiet blade to lose my world to the one who saw how we were made. Yeah, I'm standing in the shadow of your new love. The shadow's getting long now, the sun is going down. I'm a stranger in my own hometown. I lost my love, I lost my friend. I guess this is how the stories end. Just a shadow in your new love. Yeah. They say time heals everything, but they didn't tell me time just makes the silence louder. I'm standing in the wreckage of what we used to be. Look at this room, it's a museum of used to have. Your scent is still on the hoodie and it's making me mad. I'm tracing the outlines of shadows on the wall, waiting for a ghost to pick up when I call. We built a kingdom on a foundation of glass. Now I'm barefoot in the kitchen, bleeding out from the past. Every I love you feels like a debt I can't pay, and the forever we promised just drifted away. And now I'm wearing the scars of both your loves, the one who stayed too long and the one who wasn't enough. One cut me deep with the lies that she told, the other left me freezing out here in the cold. It's a heavy weight carrying two broken hearts, tearing my soul into two different parts. Yeah, I'm the victim of a double-edged blade, watching the colors of my memory fade. Yeah, I remember the laughter, but the static is winning. My head is a carousel that never stops spinning. I gave you my and get close again. One scar for the way you left, one scar for the way I stayed. Both of them hurt the same. Both of them call your name. Now I'm wearing the scars of both your loves, the one who stayed too long and the one who wasn't enough. One cut me deep with the lies that she told, the other left me freezing out here in the cold. It's a heavy weight carrying two broken hearts, tearing my soul into two different parts, yeah. I guess some hearts aren't meant to be fixed. Just live with two loves, two scars, one empty room. I'm standing at the center of a map I used to know, with a broken heart and nowhere left to go. On my left is a girl who held my every dream. On my right, the best friend who anchored every scheme. But the lines had blurred and the circles started to bleed. Now you're both the only comfort that I'll ever need, and the only two people I can't bear to see. I'm at the midpoint of a tragedy, the center of the fall, watching the two I love the most build up a common wall. You found a spark in the dark while I was looking away. Now I'm the price of the secret that you both had to play. It's the midpoint of broken, where the love meets the light. One hand waves hello while two wave goodbye. Did it happen in the silence when I wasn't in the room? Did a friendship turn to fever? Did a betrayal start to bloom? I'm checking old messages, looking for the when and how, but all I find is gaslighting disguised as a vow. You didn't just break a promise, you broke my safety net. Now the person I'd been to is the one I need to forget. Is it lonely over there, or is it crowded with my ghost? Does the wine taste bitter when you're drinking to a toast? You have each other's gravity to keep you on the ground, before you chose each other and murdered me. I'm picking up the pieces of a shattered glass here, looking at the portraits that we hung up here. You had that smile, the one I thought was mine, and they had the handshake of a brother in line. I sat at the table, I passed you the bread, while you both were trading the things unsaid. Behind the hello and the how have you been was a poison ink dripping from under your skin. The stage was so perfect, the lighting was gold, but the actors were shaking and the ending was cold. I was the only one not in the play, watching the makeup all melt away. Now the curtains are down and the lights have gone gray, and I'm looking at strangers from yesterday. Was it a costume? Was it a lie? How did you look at me straight in the eye? Two faces I love, now I don't know at all. Just empty expressions hung up on the wall. I'm left with the wreckage of the truth you outshore, and the masks you both wore on the floor. Did it itch like a fever, the plastic disguise? Did you practice the sorry behind those fake eyes? I let you both in, I gave you the key, while you built a fortress to hide from me. Every I love you and every best friend was just a rehearsal for the bitter end. You played your parts until I was broke, then walked out the door like a wisp of smoke. The hardest part isn't the love that I lost, it's counting the lies and the heavy set cost of wondering if anything ever was real, or if you're even capable of feeling the way that I feel. Yeah, the curtains are down and the lights have gone gray, and I'm looking at strangers from yesterday. Was it a costume? Was it a lie? How did you look at me straight in the eye? Two faces I love, now I don't know at all. Just empty expressions hung up on the wall. I'm left with the wreckage of the truth you outshore, and the masks you both wore on the floor. Yeah, the curtains are down and the lights have gone gray, and I'm looking at strangers from yesterday. Was it a costume? Was it a lie? How did you look at me